Francois Lenormand, who was an important French archaeologist and one of the pioneers of Assyriology. He was a leading authority on the ancient history of Western Asia, and he helped to lay the foundations for the scientific study of ancient Mesopotamian languages and literature. So let's get into it. The name Lenormand has quite a lot of history behind it. It is derived from the Germanic elements liat and rin, which means famous helmet. But that's not really what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about Francois Lenormand, who was born in 1801 in Paris and died in 1883. He was interested in the history of ancient civilizations, especially those of Western Asia. He learned Arabic and worked at the Louvre Museum, where he became the curator of the Department of Oriental Antiquities. He published many works on the subject, but his magnum opus was a 6-volume work entitled Histoire des Empires Méridionaux, which was published between 1856 and 1880. This work was a pioneering study of the history of ancient Mesopotamia, and it covered the history of the Sumerians, Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians from the earliest times until the Muslim conquest in the 7th century CE. But what were the Sumerians? The Sumerians were an ancient people who lived in the region of southern Mesopotamia, which is now Iraq, between the 4th and 2nd millennium BCE. They were one of the earliest known civilizations, and they are credited with many innovations, including the invention of the wheel and the plow. They also developed a system of writing known as cuneiform, which was used throughout Mesopotamia. The Sumerians believed that their civilization was the center of the world. They thought that their gods had created the earth and that all other peoples were inferior to them. They were proud and warlike people, and they often went to war with their neighbors, such as the Akkadians and the Amorites. But despite their warlike nature, they were also a highly civilized people. They built great cities, temples, and palaces. They developed a sophisticated legal system, and they made many advances in mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. Their culture had a profound influence on the neighboring civilizations, and their legacy can be seen in the art, architecture, and customs of the people of Mesopotamia. Assyriology is the study of the history and culture of the Assyrian Empire. The Assyrians were a people who lived in northern Mesopotamia from the 25th century BCE until the 7th century BCE. They were known for their military strength, and their empire stretched from Egypt to Iran. The Assyrians kept detailed records of their history and culture, which have allowed modern scholars to learn about their way of life. They developed a unique form of writing, and their literature includes some of the earliest known stories of creation and destruction. The Assyrians also made advances in science and mathematics, and their influence can be seen in the art and architecture of the region. The study of ancient history is important because it helps us to understand the origins of human civilization. By studying the Assyrians and other ancient cultures, we can learn about the development of human society and the factors that have shaped our world today. We can also gain insight into the human condition by studying the cultures and beliefs of ancient civilizations. Many ancient cultures had complex religions and belief systems that attempted to explain the mysteries of life and death. By studying these beliefs, we can learn about the fears and hopes of the people who lived in these cultures and gain a better understanding of the human experience. And that brings us to the end of our talk about Francois Lenormand and the history of Assyriology. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe and leave a like. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.